So they're going to bring it out and measure. The measurement should give the young quarterback, who may have taken a lick on that quarterback sneak, the way he's bending over down there.
Okay, they got three shots at it at the most, Brent, with the 18 seconds.
18 seconds and 3 plays. Need the touchdown.
They don't want to run any slow type passes, any bootlegs or waggles. They want to get back and throw the ball in that 5-step rhythm. Blitz coming after him, one-on-one.
Fires in. Played Reimers, the intended receiver.
Got exactly what he wanted. One-on-one coverage. You got to complete that one. Reimers had an outside position on the strong safety Ellsworth. All he has to do is throw the strike. He's got the play. A lot of pressure for your first start in your career as a college freshman. Yes, redshirt freshman, but he didn't get to play last year.
This young man has attempted 49 passes today. The most previously in the Michigan book is 47 by Dick Vidmar. And for yards, 357. That eclipses the previous record, too. And now he's trying to pull it out. Fire high. Trevor couldn't get it. So now it is 3rd down.
You know, that was that zone coverage again. They ran the short pattern outside, tried to get the corner pattern in behind him. Everybody dropped. He should have thrown the ball to Mercury. Hayes out there, and Mercury's coming back into him and letting him know that.
8 seconds remaining. 3rd and 10. Reimers, Hayes, and Toomer. And Howard has been doing a good job as a bodyguard in that backfield.
They put Toomer now over to the short side of the field opposite a trip set, maybe trying to get the one-on-one to him.
Middle, Butterfield dropped it. It's 4th and 10, 4 seconds. It's come down to this in the opener.
Tyrone Butterfield, a freshman, redshirt freshman, playing in his first ball game.
From Mishawaka, Indiana, Scott Dreisbach, the redshirt freshman.
Oh,
and for the Wolverines and their fans, here it is. Lobs it. Hayes is there. Out of the end zone. Touchdown. They give it to him. He had 1 foot in. He's got it. 4th down. Scotty Dreisbach has pulled it out. This baby's over. That is the biggest comeback in Michigan football history. They were down to Virginia 17-0. A heartbreaker for Coach Welsh and the Cavaliers. Now, if I'm Virginia and this is a regular season game, I don't leave the field, and I'll tell you why in a moment, folks, because we want to take a look at this. Hayes obviously kept 1 foot in bounds. That's the college rule.
He makes the post move, got the corner to bite on it, going outside it. Ball coming over the outside shoulder. One more look. Rondé Barber took the bite on the post move to the inside. He came out of it, he threw it perfectly. The ball coming over the shoulder toward the flag. He has the ball. His left foot is in the green.
Now, I have a big question here. If I'm Virginia, I want this extra point attempted.
Say, man, we live, baby. Locker room back on, man. Worldwide, right next to me. We in the building. I got Self Red, all the way in Illinois with us. We live. We back at it. We got Mercury Hayes. He hopefully coming in live later so we can talk about this signing day and the big issues going on with football and all this free agency and stuff moving forward. But for the right now, I got a high school classmate, class of 91, we all, LBJ Jaguar, TaMyra Henderson. Let's talk. Introduce yourself. Talk to the world.
Hello, my name is TaMyra T.K. Henderson. I am an award-winning screenwriter and playwright. Awesome. Straight out of Bastrop.
Come on.
Yeah,
DJ Screw. DJ Screw.
He was close to Smithfield, Texas. He was down the street.
Say, we just introducing. We just getting started, y'all. We just getting started. The show is just getting started. So I got my man Worldwide with me. He been mad at me. And, we back friend. I'm his friend, but he ain't my friend till next week, man. Which is cool. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys didn't win the Super Bowl. Didn't nobody win it but the Chiefs. So I feel like our season was equivalent.
Yeah.
But he don't.
Andy Reid.
Worldwide. We got them heavy Mac facts coming. He already dropping signs as soon as he walked in the building talking about the alkaline and the water. I ain't gonna even get into that because he gonna drop real signs. But I got Heath Muhammad also in here. We're gonna talk about some mental healing through these tragedies that we're seeing, how to heal properly. You know what I'm saying? And move forward in the right way, man. So we're gonna have a deep show, hit a lot of issues and have fun and keep moving. You know what it is, B-Mac. How you feeling, baby?
I feel good, man. I want to just first, before I start off, man, I want to give mad love to the wife. Her birthday is Saturday. She turned a big 4-0, man. We're going to do it big in Houston at Prospect Park, man. We're going to throw her a really nice party. We're going to do something here at this raggedy club called Midtown. We're going to do
Friday?
Yeah, so you know what I mean? But I just want to, show mad love to her, man. She's amazing, man, and I'm just glad for her to see 40. She saw mine, and I get to see hers, so that's a good thing, man. But I just want everybody to wish her a happy birthday, man.
Say, man, hey, Worldwide, Bobby, I love you. Sis, you know what it is. You hold us down. You part of the backbone of this, baby. So happy birthday. You talked about us turning 40. We old now, we put that phone on your back. Yeah. Enjoy that phone. We love you, sis.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy and be safe. You know how we play. You know how we play. Red, what's up in the cold weather, man? Talk to us, man.
Come on, Red. It's
how you
snowing
feeling
up
right now?
We up here in the dirty Illinois, man. It's cold, raining, snowing all over the Midwest right now.
Well, you getting ready for the fight, though. You excited about the fight coming on. I know y'all got some big things popping.
We got a fight coming up February 22nd, big hype. All the shows. Deontay was down in Miami for the Super Bowl doing some press down there.
Bobby Mack be tripping. He got people throwing fight parties now. Bobby Mack be tripping, man. I don't really like Bobby Mack. I'm back mad at him. He got people throwing fight parties. Say, boy, hey, he said it was that kind of season.
Hey, before we get started, I do want to talk about
that's what I want to hear.
The advancement that black quarterbacks have made. And me and Ray can attest and talk about the difference in the last 25 years to now.
Big.
I mean, half of us that played receiver would have probably been quarterback.
Right.
But they always pushed us to play running back or receiver or cornerback.
No doubt.
They didn't want us to play quarterback because they wanted the white person to be the cerebral person or the person that's in the huddle that's, portraying the message to the team or relaying the message to the team. So I want to talk about that. Patrick Mahomes being successful, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, man.
Lamar Jackson, shout out.
MVP.
NFL MVP, full season, regular season MVP. And it's just a lot of Russell Wilson had success.
Yep.
I mean, we had a lot of success. And even though we didn't win, Dak Prescott had a great year too.
It wasn't bad. No, he wasn't. I don't hate Dallas.
Figured out how to pay
I don't hate Dallas, dude. I hate y'all slave owner, bruh. Thomas Jefferson.
Hey, man, don't get on here bashing up Bobby, man.
He Thomas Jefferson, bro.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Jerry Jones is Thomas Jefferson remake.
Hey, if you think it's something different between my owner and yours, I got some swap. Some oceanfront property.
Yeah, because Kaepernick's still mad. Everybody.
Hey, he
still
said,
mad.
nobody bet not kneel on my team.
Yeah, he meant that. But y'all got rid of the person that kneeled. So
Well, we didn't. He left on his own. I keep telling Ray that he was throwing all them interceptions. Then
Y'all
he felt
bench
bad.
me. I mean, if y'all bench me, I'm really.
You can't
bad.
just throw interceptions and stay in the game, right?
But I'm better than everybody y'all got.
Man, hey.
James throwing interceptions and they still playing that.
That's a whole nother squad, bro.
But back to the
Yeah. Back to Thomas Jefferson. I mean,
but it being black quarterbacks now.
Can't stand Bobby Mack, y'all.
And for NFL going forward, man, that's good because what that's going to do is going to have the little league Pee Wee players, kids playing quarterback from a young age. They're going to be able to develop like these other kids have been able to develop for the last 30 years.
And that's the beauty, man. And let me shout out Quincy Carter because he has some combines coming and some training for these kids locally that's going to blow their minds. Some professionals.
And I mean, if you think about it, Quincy was probably top 10 or top 20
when he was doing his
of the first black quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. He was a pioneer, so to speak.
Right.
True.
So and that segues us into what we're gonna start discussing. And you right on point because we're gonna get that. And if Merck call in, we'll get him to discuss some of that as well. Mm-hmm. But Miss Henderson is here to talk about the film industry and the role of the black actor, the portrayal of the black man. And I want her to touch on that as we get busy and talk about your history and who you work with. Let's start off with that subject since we talked about the black quarterback.
So basically, just being in the film industry and writing for stage, you notice how black men are portrayed. And once you get in it, it's automatic when you see it. I was talking to one of my supervisors. We were talking about the same movie, and I was like, yeah, they should have had a little more diversity. She's talking about they did. I said, you mean the black man that was homeless at the beginning packing the cross through the street?
That's all they get.
And she was like, yeah.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, we got, and as a writer, I feel like that's, one of my jobs is to make sure our men, don't look like
now, how hard is that
society's portrayal.
How hard is that to get it on a platform to where we can see that and our people can get more exposure that way? How hard has that been for you to get your work out there?
Independent film is hard. Yeah. I have a script called The Garter. I wrote about an NFL cornerback because I was tired of seeing some of the images, so I wrote a script and about it, and it's like, yeah, so anybody got $250,000 so we can go ahead and shoot this thing? But supporting independent film, that's where you're going to see different images because we control the narrative. As long as we control the narrative, we can control how the black male is portrayed.
Right. And that's the
I was gonna say, I live in California, San Diego, and I lived in West Hollywood for a long time. I got a lot of friends in the industry. Kenya Barris, you probably know from the writer and director from Blackish. I got a lot of friends that are in film. Darius Love, Jamie Foxx, just to name a few people that I've dealt with out in Hollywood. Kevin Hart. So you're right, and the thing is, the reason that there's not enough opportunities is it takes money to just make a treatment, what they call treatment, or something, a short play, a short screenplay to where it can get shown to the larger major film companies. Mm-hmm. And once it's shown to them, then you have opportunity for the movie to go, big time, and you can go ahead and make the full film. Well, the trouble is getting money to just create those treatments. And then when you do, if you make it too black, then you only have a couple outlets that you can go through. Right. If you don't make it black enough, then those 2 outlets or 3 outlets may not accept your film and may not want it, in the BET audience, so to speak, or the Tyler Perry community. So it's really a tough world to be in, from where her standpoint, because it is tough to get people to buy in to going in on an independent film. But, with past success of a lot of these black movies, we got Bad Boys right now. We had, and even though, like they say, Black Panther, it ain't really a black movie because black people didn't get paid. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot of jobs for a lot of black people. Mm-hmm. So to speak.
What was you about to say?
So when the script, you writing it, so is it, I'm going to see if you can catch this revelation when I give you this information. So it's just like this. you know how like the rapper come in rapping and they don't want to put his CD out unless we dogging each other. You know what I mean? And then they want to put it out. Is it the same thing in the industry? Like a lot of gangsters, blacks killing blacks, would they take that in consideration? Because we destroying each other because that's what they love now. Right. They'll put that out there.
Would they promote that before the
Would
positive?
they promote that before they would do the positive?
Well, the thing is,
They
there
offer
are
you money.
there are black networks that will take that before the positive. It's not just other people.
Wow.
Absolutely.
My mentor, one of the films I co-wrote, one of my films, me and my mentor co-wrote. He took it to one of them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's too preachy," and it wasn't. It was a faith-based film, but it wasn't in the church. It wasn't preachy. You know what I mean? It was based on circumstances, and we were like, so she had to be like on the stripper pole at night. And then come to the church during the day, and then they'll buy it. Okay.
That's the most thing that's happening. So they want to know what. So you telling me is that they don't want us black men in a row. All we doing is spitting straight knowledge and positivity to the young kids.
No positivity whatsoever. Not a strong father. Not an intelligent.
And
they don't want that in. So if you wrote that,
things is what they're looking for.
So if you wrote that, they wouldn't do that.
It's like Hollywood Shuffle, the movie, the old movie by Robert Townsend, Hollywood Shuffle. You know, they want you to hold yourself and talk like you don't have proper diction and stuff like that. They don't want to hear nobody articulate. They want to hear a thug or a pimp. That's all they want to hear from.
And it's who has the money.
That's the message that they want portrayed to the black communities.
Right, and it's who has the money. So it depends on who's funding the film, who controls the narrative.
Well, we already know that.
So.
Okay. Them are getting more than anything.
No positive portrayals of
that's why Tyler Perry had to do his own thing.
Just speaking to that, just what you guys are talking about, the segue to that, Ray, is today Gayle King asking the question to Lisa Leslie about Kobe. I mean, everybody in the world has been just, supportive of Kobe. He's been nothing but positive. No matter how he really was or what he stood for, it's been positivity around him and his name and his legacy and his daughter and the things that he's been doing the last 20 years. Right. And Gayle King asked Lisa Leslie the question about his incident in Colorado, and she kept hammering her over it. And Lisa Leslie was a G. She stood in there and she was like, you know what? I don't think we should be talking about a dead man's legacy like that. Yeah. He was here for 25 years after that incident. That's right. You didn't say nothing to him about
nothing else.
Now that he's gone, you want to get the narrative out there and change the narrative of him being a loving father, a good husband, and somebody good in the community to make him out to be this horrible person. So it's a lot of outrage, and this just happened in the last few hours.
I saw it, but I didn't want to
it's controversial sales, though.
So it show you, B-Mac, our own kind. I mean, they try to portray us as the movies is no different.
Well, I can't take it from Fresh. Fresh said controversy sells.
Yes.
And that's so at the end of the day, let's all be real. Money.
Yeah. Because people are like, I had a guy bring me, something. I was like, well, I don't do raunchy. I just, that's not me. And he was like, but I know sex sells. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I can't be a part of that.
Why does that sell? And we're going to ask Mr. Muhammad about that a little bit later, you know what I'm saying? And talk about the psyche of the mind. Because I ain't going to lie to you, bro. I really take in a lot of positive energy because now that I'm older, that negativity and all that stuff can weigh you down, bro. It can drain you.
It will.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So, I don't know what's in the psyche that keeps us from putting our money behind positivity that'll add longevity and love to our life. Yeah. That's crazy as a people. And we buy into that. I kind of, boy, that Bobby Mack said, he'll give you a scripture in a heartbeat, too. He like my wife, boy. I got a scripture for that.
And I really do, though.
No, it's real.
I'm being real with you. I can't help it.
But we have, let me say this, though, Red. We have to get out there and start putting our dollars behind our positive black images as we move forward. You understand?
Well, that's what I was getting into now. I was going to ask TaMyra if she could let our audience know the things that are necessary, because a lot of young people are miseducated. They believe that, okay, I got to get a break, or if I get a break, I'll make it big. If I do this, it'll happen. Let them know the hard work and the things necessary and how you have to perfect your craft, whether it be a garbage man or an NBA player. And let them know there's acting classes involved. If you want to be a writer, there's writing rooms you can join. Let them know some of the things that they can do, the proper way to do things. So when they do get that break or that chance, they'll be prepared for it. Because that's the biggest difference.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna go to the quick break real quick, and we're gonna come back with that, and we're gonna have Mr. Muhammad on, and we're gonna play and discuss some real issues and keep it moving, man. You tuned into the locker room, man. I love y'all. Thank you for the support, man. Thank you for the love, man. Continue to like and share the views, and we're going to keep building. Also, this half of the locker room is sponsored by Anything Baked Potatoes, man. Yeah. They do great. They contributed to the show. They doing great things in the community with our kids and everything, man. The homeless, everything. Anything Baked Potatoes, first half of the locker room, baby. This is our sponsorship. We start with family and family investing in family.
Yes.
I love y'all. Second quarter, we coming right back.
2-3 minutes. Yeah, man. You writing the script, you like, okay, here it is. But we know this, you know, because it's...
We back on, y'all. Second quarter, locker room. And Red was kind of touching as we went to break about some of the things you want to discuss with even adults. And you talked about it earlier that are kind of scared to step out into their dreams and, you know, live out their destiny. Talk about that. What are some of the steps that are required for that success, baby?
Number one is obedience and surrender. That's number 1 and 2.
Look, I got to point at my G.
Obedience and surrender. I was 34 years old. I walked out the bathroom and I heard a voice literally say, write a movie.
Man.
Didn't know nothing about it, but 2 weeks later, I was writing on paper. I was finding classes at UT Extension Austin. It was only $25, intro to screenwriting, and I decided to take classes in LA. As a single parent, I'm just making ends meet. So I decided, where there's a will, there's a way. I held raffles, literally held raffles. I bought diamond rings, diamond necklaces, and I raffled them off. $2 a ticket, 3 for $5. Awesome. And everyone knew that the money that I raised was to pay for a trip. The trips for me to go learn my craft, awesome. The new calling that God had gave me. And so I took about 3 trips that way.
I love it. I love it.
To learn my craft, yep.
Say, man, beautiful. Talk about the obedience, because I gotta throw that off the backboard to you, because you know
I'm gonna grab it.
He gonna take that alley. He gonna take it, bro.
Every time, man.
He got to.
Well, I mean, obedience comes with discipline. It's very hard to have. It's very hard to be obedient without discipline. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say obedience is discipline, that's doing something that other people won't do. But you'll have what other people will never have. So the whole thing
Run that back, though. Run that back. I ain't even got my flag.
Well, I mean, you know me, bro. You know, I'm going to keep it all the way 1,000. Where's our flag?
I don't know, man. Alvin ain't here. Alvin Guyton. What?
What his son did out there today.
He did great.
We're gonna let him slide.
Let him make it. Let the man make it.
We're gonna let him slide.
Hey, we're gonna let him make it for the season with what that youngster did today.
Man.
Boy, that's congratulations. Well, go ahead. Rewind that.
But I mean, you doing something that other people won't do, so you'll have what they never have. You see what I mean? And it comes with obedience and discipline. And that's why this is where people say, why they got this, why they live like that, why they discipline, obedience. That's why.
Yeah.
See, you mad because you not and mad because they got.
So you mean work bring favor?
Every time.
I don't like you, but I love it.
The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
We already know. We already know that was a big red.
And another thing that we need to add on to that is the belief that it's gonna. I mean, we gotta have the belief that these things are gonna happen.
Let me introduce
Absolutely.
you.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta have the belief that these things are gonna happen. We have to be able to trust the process.
Yes.
So most
Yes.
people never really trust the process.
Yes.
They'll pray for things and then worry about it.
Oh, that's where you messed up right there. You cannot pray for something.
They'll pray for things and worry about it because they really don't believe that it's gonna come true.
Yep.
And then so you gotta so the same person who doing that need to understand what the Bible is. You know what I mean? John put belief in the Bible 79 times. We're not gonna get into this. But why did he put it in there 79 times? Because he wants you to believe in what you're reading and what you living your life in. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do it, you invested in yourself, man. We invested in ourselves. But you got to understand, you didn't forget your why.
Right.
When people forget they why, bye-bye.
I love it, baby.
Hey,
Hey, can the church say amen? Can the church
I'm
say
about to drag a rock.
Hey, but it's real, man, and I think that what you touching on with the discipline and obedience is mandatory, man, and I think that's why a lot of people don't want these films because we are disciplined and obedient people by nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We actually correcting ourselves back to natural form, and a lot of people don't want to see that power. They don't want to see that unity, bro. But I'm going to tell you, and this has been sent to me from God because I'm with godly people all the time. A change is coming. You understand what I'm saying? We coming together. People are getting unified. People are uplifting one another, and they're investing in each other. And let me top it off because I'm going to drop it off to Heath in just a minute. Our people are healing. Really, we starting to see our people heal and deal with issues, and we coming clean, man. We giving God the glory in the process. So let's talk about the healing, man, and you know the tragedy that's out there right now with Kobe Bryant. And
I mean, a lot of people don't understand why you would grieve over somebody that you really didn't know.
Right.
Like if we really look at it, Kobe hadn't been in the limelight for at least 4 or 5 years, right? So why do we grieve about somebody that we have no real connection with? But we do have a connection because he was inspiring person, and a lot of people modeled themselves after what they saw. Take away the negative things that they throw out. He was way more positive than negative. So when somebody is looked at as inspiring, when they pass, that inspiration leaves with it. So we grieve over that. And what was amazing to see that it was a lot of black men that was actually allowing themselves to be vulnerable in that moment. Because I was getting a lot of things on Facebook and people were saying that, man, this is the first time I ever really cried. And I was like, wow, you know, it's bad that it took this, but at least it took something to get that to come out. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what it is? And that's why I want that image to be portrayed the right way, bruh. You know why that struck home? And me and my partner was talking about Lil Dallas the other day, like, bro, we ain't got to do girl dad or hashtag. We really got black men out here raising their kids and their families and their daughters on a daily basis. We ain't breaking our homes. We got men at home really making that sacrifice to be a husband and a father. So that hits home when you know that this man is transitioned from basketball. You know what I'm saying? That resonates heavy. He died with his daughter.
And that's another
thing. So those
thing.
images that, you know, our people need to see that to heal more often in a positive light. But go ahead, sir.
And another thing with that is that, you know, we were very sad when we just thought it was just Kobe. But then it was his daughter was added to it. And that really, really stung. And it also made us realize that our time is coming. Like money didn't save that from not happening. Because sometimes we look at death as a poor man's thing. Like rich people don't die suddenly.
Wow.
This was one of those things that showed you that you need to give flowers to people while they live because you just never know. With that being said, I am not ever telling anybody to go back to a toxic relationship because of this. That does not mean that you need to go back to your abusive husband because you need to give him flowers while he lives. No. We're talking about people that care about you. Like Ray, I can be tell you right now, I love you, bro. And because we may walk out of here and I may not never see you again. Or y'all may not never see me again. Because that's how life is. But when it's put out there like that and that realization hit, that's sombering, man.
It is.
That's humbling. So we were all humbled by this thing because it's Kobe. This is a legend that we never thought. We thought that we would go before him.
I mean, no matter how much money you got, he had more health. He was as healthy as a horse.
Right.
I mean, it was like, man, Kobe, I gotta be Kobe. And like you said, I got 2 daughters, so it affected me. And the funny thing about it, both of my daughters called me like, Dad, we just want to call you with this Kobe stuff. We want to tell you we love you. So I mean, it touched a lot of people in a lot of age groups.
Across the
And that's a beautiful thing.
Because it wasn't just one, and that's the thing that I want people to understand. Life is fragile. It wasn't just one father and daughter. It was a whole, man. You know, it's some kids, some men right now living that lost their mama, their sister, and their daddy on that. You understand?
One day. One day, everything can change.
Half a morning. So they had just seen people. They had just been like,
tie your shoes in the morning, and the Undertaker tie your shoes that night.
So how do we tap into that along with what we're doing with our platforms to kind of start that healing process and bring awareness to the positivity, because we feel like we got to hide the tears.
Nah, man, we don't have to. One thing I do know, and one thing that everybody should understand, is that our tear ducts doesn't disappear when we turn a certain age, meaning that they're still beneficial. It's not like an appendix where you can take those out. You take your ear ducts out, you're going to be messed up. Crying is refreshing. Now, I'm not saying that's all you should do. You should get up and do some other things. But crying is a thing that is real. But one thing that we have never been taught, we've been taught how to gain a bunch of things, but we've never been taught how to deal when those things are gone. So we don't really know how to grieve. We're also taught as a youngsters that if I cry, go cry to your room. Go to your room and cry. So we think that grief is a thing that we're supposed to do by ourselves. So, and we're also taught different things that aren't right. Not that our parents are horrible people. It's just things that they were passed down and we passed down to our children. And it's not even a thing where they were trying to be bad. We just didn't know.
Well, so this is my take on adding on to what you said. When you whoop your child, which a lot of people don't do no more, when you whoop your child and you turn around, you whoop them and then you turn around and say, shut up.
Before I give you something else to cry
about.
Do
you know what that does to that child? It makes him emotionless. You snatched it out of him. And people don't realize that. So hold on. You whooping me, but you want me to shut up. This shit hurts, but you want this hurts, but you want me to be quiet.
Wow.
So when something happens and that youngster over there in the corner just blank face. He has no emotion. You took it from him.
Wasn't allowed to be.
Wow.
I mean, that.
You see what I mean? And also, we don't see that.
Also, think about that, which is a horrible thing. Also, think about when you fall and you don't
Shut
cry.
Up.
No, boys don't cry. Get up, wipe it off.
Man.
No, what are you telling me? Like, I'm in pain right now, so I can't even vocalize pain. And then if you have a significant other that throws that back up on you, you was crying. You was crying like a bitch the other day. Now I can't even cry to you.
You see what I mean?
So now I can't even be emotional in my own house.
Man.
One thing I love about my father, and a lot of people know who Pill is, that after he whooped my ass,
Definitely.
Because I got that ass.
Yeah.
He would sit me on his lap and allow me to cry and tell me this is why you got your ass whooped. So it was no misunderstanding.
There was explanation behind it.
There was no misunderstanding why I got
Yeah.
whooped.
That's great.
And I was allowed to cry.
Right.
So crying now is not a thing to me.
Right.
Like I can watch
It's a release.
I can watch a funny movie and get something out of it and
Yeah.
start crying.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's not a thing to me.
Yeah.
But that needs to be carried on. That needs to something that we need to stop in our generation, telling our children we don't cry.
Yes.
And see, and it's different
sad,
with
too.
everybody, and that's why I'm glad that you said that, because for me, it was the I love you. Like, I knew my daddy loved me, but, you know, it wasn't masculine really for men to say, I love you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear that from my daddy, even though you ain't no punk, I ain't no punk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And tell me you love me.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is to always tell even my men, man, I love you, bro. It's
Yeah.
okay for me to love you.
It's
You
okay.
understand?
It ain't nothing you can do about
Yeah,
it.
it ain't nothing for
That's
it.
what
You
I
don't
tell
have to
them.
say
Ain't
no
nothing you can
pause
do.
or
What they gonna
nothing.
fight you? You know what they gonna do? You mad at me because I love you.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
But you know what's a
it's
beautiful
very
thing
important.
that my oldest son, that now, at first, like when he was 11 or 12, you know, I would tell him I love him, and he was around his friends, he would be like, Dad, what you doing? But now, he can be with a gang of folks,
Love you
and he
too,
gonna be
bro.
like, no, I love you. He gonna say it first. That feels so good.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I shed a tear every time you do it
yeah,
because
right.
I don't care. You know,
Exactly,
I'm
bro.
allowed to have feelings.
Yes.
You know, I'm allowed to have feelings.
But you know, one of the things though too, and I got to catch myself, and my wife does a great job of helping me with that, is the don't cry, suck it up.
Yeah.
Because I attach it to life,
Right.
and I don't want them hard times or them times where you get hurt. Cry a little bit, man, but suck that up.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
keep
yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't want to be too hard on them, but this thing out here called life hurts.
Yeah, it's
But
emotional.
you got to keep on moving. You do have to heal, but you
Yeah.
got to keep on moving.
But
Very
change
true.
it. Change it instead of saying "suck it up."
Yeah.
Let's try. What's the next move?
Like the communication. I like
After
that.
you cry, what is your next move going
And
to
make
be?
them think while you're in the
Yeah.
process of crying.
Because if I tell you to suck it up and you haven't shown me the proper steps that I'm supposed to take after that, I'm still lost. I'm still.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised like your pops.
Yeah, right.
Dad whooped my ass, send me there, make me lay on his stomach, and we talk about why you got your ass.
Yeah.
Watch a football game at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing when
brings
it's
love.
explanation and discipline in hard times.
And another thing
We
with
have to
grief.
give our kids that.
Another thing with grief that we have to start being mindful of is stop having replacement things. Meaning, oh, everything is okay. Here's a lollipop.
Oh yeah.
That means that you're uncomfortable with this. So now you're going to give me some food.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, when we get stressed out, depressed, we eat because that's what we were taught.
Wow.
Or we'll replace it. How many people have been taught after a divorce? Oh, there's other fish in the sea.
And they go try to find.
No, you trying to. No, I wanted that fish. That fish was mine. Now you telling me go find another one to try to replace it?
No, you're right.
Like, but that's it.
Am I right? No, right.
Freedom dress.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when a pet dies, the parents say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll go get another one." So you're just discounting my relationship with that pet.
Yes.
You think that I just need to replace it.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. We find
Wow.
replacement things when instead of dealing with the grief and saying I own this grief, we go find something to replace it.
And the whole thing
Wow.
about it is, what we gotta understand is, you gotta watch that. Karma not only good, it's bad too.
Yeah.
So if you turn around and spin that on that same person that says, okay, we'll just buy you another one. And then when she grieving, you be like, Mom, don't worry about it, we'll just get you another one.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happens.
See, we don't understand that. Karma, man, people don't understand. It has no date, it has no address, and it has no time. When it come, it's coming. And it's going to come because that's how the people forget the law. We forget the law, man. And it's not that, it's not the fact that when you do somebody wrong, they're going to do you wrong. No, the law is going to do your ass. And people don't realize that. It's not the fact that they going to do it. Because think about when you do somebody wrong and he go like this. I ain't worried about it, man. You going to get yours one day. He already let the law know. Think about it. He already let the law know. And whatever happened to you, it's just what it is.
Yeah, I'm old.
You
I did that now. I'm an old one. Something gonna happen.
And then you let it go. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
that.
And we don't see that. We don't see that. We build.
That's
So
why you try to do right.
that's right. So when you talk down on somebody, guess what? 2 years down the line, it's gonna come on you and somebody gonna talk because it's karma. Has no address, no date, no time. So it might come to you, it might come to you.
Hold on.
Oh,
Man.
I'm sorry, man.
Hold
I'm sorry.
on, man.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man. I hate to put the leash on it, real. All right? Yeah. We're going into halftime, man. But I'm finna take the leash right back out for these magnificent Mac Facts, y'all. We got the Mac Facts coming. It's halftime. We got some real deep talk coming. Hopefully Merk will hit us back because I need this signing day, but I really don't because we own it and I love Merk. I know he busy, but I got heavy.
Ray, I don't mean to interject.
Go ahead, Rick.
Hey, I was the number 2 receiver in the country.
That's what I was about to say. That's why. Red.
What about me?
Red, you wouldn't even let me finish.
So if you need to sign it.
You wouldn't even let me
Dog got
finish.
your back always.
Man, listen to what I was about to say. I got heavy hitters with me already, and I was about to say I got one of the longest kickoff return in Michigan history right there sitting on the other screen. So we can talk about this. So I ain't tripping. Let me
We're gonna
finish
give
mine.
you yours, Rick.
Let me finish mine.
We're gonna give you yours, Rick.
We're gonna give you yours. I love it. Hey, first half of the locker room brought to you by Anything Baked Potatoes, man. Get to them, boy. Young Skip Chuck, I love y'all. Here we come. Halftime. Mac Facts. Second half of the locker room. Heath Muhammad. Miss Henderson.
Stay tuned.
We're going to talk.
Don't turn that. Don't get off.
Don't
Listen.
scroll up.
Don't scroll up. Stay connected.
We learn and grow from it.
You're gonna learn something again. How y'all doing out there? This is Max Fact. Pay attention. We're gonna talk about some good topics. We're gonna keep it simple, but we're gonna keep it real. Stay tuned. It's coming. I'm coming right at you with these facts. I hope you're ready, baby. Well, we came like what we felt. You know what I mean? Mac Facts. How y'all doing? Y'all remember last week we went into habits, and I had 2 parts of it because I can't give you too much on one plate because you can barely eat sometimes what I give you. This is portion control. So I'm just gonna be real brief. I ain't gonna take your time. We gotta get back to some real. But I'm gonna go back on habits because habits is something that we form. And I wrote down a couple of things and just right off the head to say bad habits are easy to form because of instant pleasure. Mm-hmm. You want to write that down?
We hate delayed gratification.
You want to write? Okay. Good habits are hard to form because of longevity results. It's like me losing this weight. I can get frustrated and I'm eating clean and I'm like, man, this weight ain't coming off. So guess what we tend to do? Go back into the bad habit because I want that instant. Mm-hmm. And we fail to realize that we repeat this cycle over and over and over and over again, and you back where you begin. Man, that was wrong. But what I'm saying is, so check this out. I want you to really pay attention to what I'm going to say. It takes 21 days to form a habit, bad or good. Okay? And you know what's crazy? It takes 21 days to change a habit as well. You can't break them. People say you can break them. No, you can change them. A habit will always be with you. I'm serious, good or bad. But it's 21 days to form one, and then it's 21 days to change. Now, 90 days, you make it a lifestyle. Picture that. That's 3 months. You can make it a lifestyle. So whatever you fasting on, I call it a fasting because you ain't been able to have what you want to have. So when you fast from it, then you go to the God. He gonna take over the rest of what you've been fighting because that's what he does. But we can't understand this. I told y'all, you cannot change the habit without God. I'm sorry. You can try, you will fail over and over. You form them because it's instant. Very, very easy. It seemed like the way I'm saying it is hard, it's easy, and both parts play a big role in your life. Because this next one I'm gonna give y'all is, do you realize the results of your life are the measure of your habits?
Repeat that.
Do you realize the results of your life are the measure of your habits? So you are, how can I put this? Where you are in life because of who you are in life. Don't be mad. You can change it. It's up to you. Every day is a new day and it's a new beginning. Understand when I tell you this. Every day you can change. Every day you can get better. But you gotta want to. You gotta want to change the habit. You gotta want to. This it's gonna be tough. That's why they say 20. If you can do it in 21 days, you can change it. Do you want to? That's the whole problem. Habits, part 2. It's a wrap. Hey, I love y'all guys, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Mac Facts coming at you. Stay tuned with me. And if you want this, I can just give you this, and you know you can take a picture. My handwriting is very, very good for a man. I don't want to hear that y'all can't read this. You can take a picture of it, and that's a Mac Facts for this week, and it was part 2. It's a wrap. Hey, I love you guys, man. We see you. Coming right up, topics, man. We eating y'all. And we ain't done with the missus yet. She finna school us on some real good stuff, man. We see y'all very, very soon.
Viewers, we appreciate everything y'all doing and watching us. I hope you getting a lot from the Mac Facts, because we're going to come at it every week with new Mac Facts. We're going to bring it to you. You're going to love it. Thank you all for coming in, but I hope you just pay attention to what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to get out here, reach the community, and get these Mac Facts. It's all about you guys. It's not about us. It's bigger than us. Mac Facts coming at you.
Hello, everybody. My name is TK Henderson. I am a self-taught screenwriter who lives here in Dallas. I am one of the writers, and I also help out with the production team for the set of Soul Purpose, this production. The Soul Purpose script itself is extremely powerful script, and it is a moving, it's basically a movement, a Soul Purpose movement. It's encouraging, it's uplifting, it's empowering. You know, we go to the movies and we see movies. Some leave us empty, some leave us, with a few laughs, a few tears. This particular play is one that's going to leave you filled. It's going to it's going to touch every emotion that you have. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to be angry, you're going to be happy. But in the end, of course, it all comes together just like in a Hollywood movie, and everything works out for the good. And our particular production is faith-based, so everything works out because Jesus and God is God. And the ladies in this production, the main characters, which is about 5 of them, and we have guys as well, but they are able to triumph and overcome the obstacles they have due to their relationship with God and their relationship with each other. This particular play has all original music by the wonderful Solaria Skinner. She's done music for our plays before, and she is amazing at doing original music. She penned the music for this play, and I always say I don't have a favorite song because I love them all, but there's a particular song that I always can't hold myself and have to shout on, which is Let Go and Let God. An amazing song. The actresses are amazing singers, as well as actresses. And like I said, this production is extremely powerful, and we are very proud of it.
What's up, baby? We back. Second half of the locker room, man.
Second
Hell
half.
of an edition, man. A lot of insight, a lot of knowledge, a lot of black pride and power in the building. Hey, check me out, though. We got a question from my man, Rob Harper. And he was talking about the topic of crime and addressing that, and he wanted to talk about it in sports. And the question reads to my panel, I like this topic, but how do y'all feel addressing this playing sports? Kids cry from losing, and especially contact sports. What's your approach then?
Well, me and he talked a little bit on it. We didn't get to go deep into it, but a lot of it is, man, it's home. Because everything started at home. And what happens is you got to understand that your parent, your mom, dad, or whatever, they talking about the youngster who messed up. You put in all this work. You didn't lose. And what they do, let me tell you what they do. They isolate you from your team. And it makes you think you important. And they not. But you can't shoot without that. You can't score without them. And what it does is you get the big heads until you run into somebody who's just as good as you, and then it's more of a challenge. But it starts at home. You know what I mean? When you take a L, I had to take plenty. Do it taste good? No, it make your jaws lock. and, you know, you've been there, and we've been there. You've been there, and it make your jaws lock. But the maturity of it all is when you stay humble and say, I'm just going to get better. I'm going to help my teammates get better. And that's when it come back to, it started with team and it's going to end with team. And not what I did and what I've been continue to do and I'm better than everybody. Because let me tell you, you're going to run up on that coach. They're going to say, sit down. You know what I'm saying? Lift your head up, boy. It's okay to lose. I said it on Sunday. If you don't know how to lose, you'll never know how to win.
And the reality of it is that in life, in life, we actually take way more losses than we win anyway. But we're never taught how to lose. Again, we're taught how to win. We're taught what it takes to win, but we never talk about losing. And when I talk about losing, I'm talking about how many Little League games have we lost? How many basketball games that y'all lose? You know, compared to how many that you won and how many things that you won in life. Like, we take a lot of losses, but we're never taught how to lose. Another thing, we also feel like we're responsible for everybody's happiness. So if I lose, if my team lose, I just made everybody upset. Because from birth or from when we're very little, how many of us was taught, don't do that because you're going to make your father angry. Don't run in a house because you're going to make your mother upset. Now I'm being told through that I have the capability of making them happy or sad. And now I'm looking for other people to make me happy or sad.
Say that again. We're taught to worry about other people.
We're taught to worry about other people's happiness, meaning I have the power to control if you're happy or not. So when we grow up and we're in marriages, we think that it's our job to make the spouse happy. That's not our job. A spouse is supposed to be happy coming in together. Ray, I don't think you heard me.
I did. I'm at you.
I don't think you heard me. We have been taught that it's our job to make other people happy. And that's not our job. It's not our job. We can't make other people happy. We can't. A person is going to be happy or not. They're
Inside.
It's an inside job. Because once we start doing that, then we can start blaming people for why we're not happy. But we was taught that when we was little. Because I'm being told by my parents that if I don't be quiet, I'm making my father mad.
Bobby Mack do y'all, bro. Bobby Mack. See, this is Bobby Mack fault that y'all getting all this knowledge, man. This Bobby Mack fault.
Blame this cat.
Everything is Bobby Mack's fault.
I'll take the blame.
Hey, boy.
But it raises us. Right.
Makes sense.
Man, you said it all.
Because that's what we all trying to do. Like, you may not like it,
man.
but it makes sense.
Come on.
It's logical. Another thing that we do, which is an issue, we try to, when we're grieving or when we're losing, we'll try to make logic of it. Logic and emotions are separate.
Yes.
Like, just because it's logical doesn't mean that I don't have emotions from it. An example. You start making millions of dollars. Your children don't want to leave their school. Logically, it makes sense because I'm about to be making $1 million. You're going to be in better schools. But emotionally, I'm still upset because everything is about to be turned upside down. Yeah, you're making money, but I'm losing friends. Now I got to go to another school where I don't know them. You may say, yeah, I done already talked to the coach. He already knows what you're bringing. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm losing something, another loss that we don't even think about. That's a grieving situation that we tell our children, oh, this is going to be better for you.
Suck it up, man.
Suck it up. Suck it up. I'm going to be making millions of dollars.
You're going to eat after this.
Yeah.
It ain't even about
But it ain't even about that.
Man.
It's about I'm losing friends that I've had through kindergarten, and you're trying to make me go make with new friends, and I'm uncomfortable with that. So I'm grieving that situation.
Unless that's taught about life and seasons with people. So like all of that has to be taught like in order to understand that transition.
It has to be
taught.
taught.
That's the thing that you get into and everything and what people don't like to talk about because it goes back to what you said, B-Mac. It starts at home. Everything. A lot of the issues that we deal with are taught behaviors.
Yes, they're learned behaviors.
There you go.
But like he said in his
baby,
his talks,
is off season
is
too,
that
baby.
those
Go
things can
eat.
be changed.
I mean, you know,
Go eat.
So
I read it.
no dad at home. Mama and daddy. She mama and daddy. And I don't know the percentage. Maybe we need to get it. But when you're fighting a fight, most young men at home, when they see their mama struggle, it's going to do two things. They either going to get weak or they going to get strong. We can't verify that, though. You see what I mean? Because all it takes is a young man to see his mama cry. Do you understand when a young man... Lord have mercy. Do you understand when a young man see his mama cry, he feel like he hurt his girlfriend. That's his first love. I got to do what it takes for my mama to live, man. They're going to go out and do what they need to do, though. They're going to go out and do what they need to do, and whatever that is. And if you don't have a plan, which a lot of us in our communities don't.
No.
Let's be real, y'all. He going to go make his own plan.
Yep.
And then, you know
follow,
what I mean?
Or follow a plan that's already out there. That's a trap.
You feel me though? And then mama is picking up that and putting her hand on that plexiglass and saying, I love you. You didn't have to do this for me.
You know, we raising money.
You know what I mean? Because, but then he said, mama, but you didn't have no help. I had to do it, and I feel like I had to do that.
Wow.
Or that young man say, you know what? My mama working hard. She finna put me in school. I'm finna go for straight A's because my mama ain't finna have to work like this when I go get this. There's two ways you can go. You know what I mean, man? That's real, and that's life. So the thing about it is you just having that sense of like, some parents can really see which way their child gonna go. Because it's what he's saying at home.
Yeah.
Mama, we can't keep living like this. These are moves he trying to test.
The moves already been made in his mind.
You feel me?
Change the game.
You better manifest that
This
thought.
is the struggle in the black homes, man.
Yeah.
Spanish
He
a little
trying to
bit
make
too,
sure
you know what I mean?
mama approve. I'm finna go
Because
home.
of no unity.
To do whatever it takes.
You see what I'm saying? Aunties and uncles, we don't live with each other in our communities. Why are you over here? Why you drink up everything? Who told you to eat that? But you go to where they really at, and they go like this.
But see,
Go get that.
Boy, I love you so much. But see, because you really be throwing them to me, so I can dish them back.
And that's what-
You know what I'm saying? But like, this takes us perfect to what I want to discuss with you, Ms. Henderson. I can call you. I first name. I went to school and graduated. But I like Miss. I like crowning our queens, man. You know what it is. God is great. So, with this being said, talk about. And that's why the portrayal of our positive images is so important in our homes. So that if we're gonna cut on the TV and let Cartoon Network teach our kids, why not let some real information teach our kids? That was the thing I loved about Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. You were doing those books and addressing the issues, the positive issues with girl athletics and all of that. But this transition that you on, And promoting these positive images is carrying you to Atlanta.
Man.
Why Atlanta? Let's talk about why Atlanta and what's going on with you. Because your images got to get out there. What we portraying got to go.
Oh, amen. Amen. Well, it's funny. Let me say this first before I talk about Atlanta.
Go ahead, let's go.
A girl told me last week, one of her friends, she said, I had my movie, one of your movies on for my niece, and she told me, after a while, she told me to cut it off. She couldn't watch it anymore. And I said, okay. She said, because the portrayal of the man in the movie, she said he didn't exist. So it wasn't true, and she didn't want to watch it anymore. I was like,
blown away.
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But check this out. Some of us had that same thought process with the Cosby Show. Some people were saying the exact same thing. Well, that's not real. We're not doctors. My mother's not a lawyer. So we were still doing that same thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That
that's
is true.
powerful. It's
that's true.
powerful.
I was taken aback when she said it. But Atlanta. So, I prayed to move to Hollywood. And God sent me to Crum, Texas, K-R-U-M. I had to look it up on the map.
Wow.
But that's where I went. Luckily, it was outside of Denton, and it wasn't in Idaho anywhere. So September, started having dreams the way God talks to me. And he said my work in Dallas was done, and I asked to go, where was I supposed to go? And he told me Atlanta. So Ray asked why I was going to Atlanta. I'm wondering the same thing, but I'm going to go and find out what's there for me.
Man.
So what happened in Crum? That makes
In
you
Crum?
obedient with following God and your work with Greg Ellis.
So, so
Boy,
Crum,
that's right.
I met in the Dallas area. I met several people who actually believed in my gift and changed my life. Greg Ellis was one of them, first round draft pick, Dallas Cowboys, 1998. He hired me to write plays. Greg, I don't write plays. Well, this is what I need you to do, TK. So we have 2 plays that travel now. One is actually in Oklahoma City this weekend. So if you're in the Oklahoma City area, check it out. Watch Night. Greg Ellis and TK Henderson.
What's the name?
It's called Watch Night.
Say it again.
Watch Night.
Watch Night.
We also did.
I got a lot of people there in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. What? Tell them. Come check it out. Yeah, Watch Night and Juneteenth are the 2 I have at Greg that actually traveled.
Awesome.
So so that happened. I co-wrote 2 films that are showing on different platforms, domestically and internationally. I met a lot of other people with projects. I have a huge project that's filming this year. I can't wait to come back and talk about it. Y'all gonna really like it.
Sweet.
But it's a huge project filming starting in May. We're gonna lock down the funding, claiming it.
Right.
We got a lot of good spoons in the basket, so we're gonna see which one come out full.
Right.
Amen. But so I met a lot of people that changed my life, believe in my gift, and helped elevate me. And so he sent me there versus Hollywood to get that elevation, and now he's sending me to Atlanta, which is the second Hollywood. So
It really is.
yeah. So I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
On that. Yes.
That's powerful.
Congratulations.
Yeah, for real.
Powerful.
So how do you think that mindset of the portrayal of positive images in the media, and that's one of the reasons me and Mac wanted to get involved in this, Heath, is because we know that the portrayal of positive images can change the outcome of people's lives. There's too many negative portrayals of us.
Yes.
So how do you think that'll play when you got sitcoms, movies, plays out there that portray the images that we really living out here?
I think once we start to see those things, it can change the mindset about what we can really do. And once we start also seeing people behind the cameras and writing these things and being a part of the narrative, it can definitely change that mindset.
Right.
That's why we have to also get out of just being the help.
Yes.
Even in sports, we can't just be the people that's on the field taking all the bruises. Soon as your time is up, we're through with you. Let's put the next person in. We have to start
Yes.
getting behind the scenes, being coaches, being the people that aren't seen.
Yes.
Instead of looking for the fame, let's be in charge of the narrative. And for her
Flag,
to be doing it,
hold on. Flag. Come with that again. Say that again.
I think we have to stop looking for the fame, because I think that's
Yes.
what we put out there. We want to be famous instead of just being part of the change in the background. You know, and that's a beautiful thing, because you can still get rich in the background.
Oh yeah.
Am I right?
Rich.
You
A
can
lot
still
of
get
people,
rich in the
the
background.
producers get
Most
They get rich.
they're not on the camera.
Makeup artists, 6 figures.
Yeah, you don't even know who they are.
Yeah, you don't
Who-
know
What you say?
Who's the owner of Tampa Bay?
Makeup
Buccaneers.
artists make what?
Makeup artists in Hollywood make 6 figures. They have makeup artists making 6 figures. Yeah, they put out an article about that.
Well, and the thing about that is,
sound men, all of that.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah,
and they
you
can
know
go
what
to
I
the
mean,
store.
right?
They can go to Walmart without being swarmed.
Man.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
Say it again.
They can go to Walmart without being swarmed
Live
and still be
regular lives.
rich.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got to stop, looking for the fame and start trying to change the narrative. And the way that you can change the narrative.
We broke as a joke.
But I love y'all.
Because
We got big love, big
love.
love, bro. We'll break the bank.
Yeah, man.
Hey, if love was, if we was getting paid off love, boy, we
Man,
had
we be-
schools.
yeah,
and
we be
businesses all
billionaires.
over
Come
the
on.
place, bruh.
We be billionaires.
Shoot,
The
real
love
estate.
is real. I
Real
love
estate
y'all.
like a mother.
But I think that's what we're doing right here. We're trying to change the narrative of
Yes.
what people think
Yes.
and how
Yes.
people think
How people
and why
think.
people think a certain way. And that's why I got into therapy
Right.
is because when I got shot, when Earl got killed, I didn't have anybody to talk to.
Yes.
Because why would I even talk to you? I'm being told that we don't talk about stuff.
And you need a release.
Yeah, and I needed somebody to talk to.
Right.
Because whether people
A
know the
shoulder to
story or
cry on.
not, that I almost killed somebody, and we went on a family trip like 3 weeks after that happened.
Wow.
And my father, when we travel, we went to New York. He travels with a gun,
Right.
and the gun slid out from up under the seat, and a van pulled up on the same side as the car that pulled up that shot us, and there was a family in there with 3 little children playing in the minivan. You know what saved their life? The light changed.
Wow.
I reached down, picked up the gun, and was turning like this to shoot them because they had scared me.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Was that logical? No, it wasn't logical. But that was PTSD that kicked in.
But that's
Wow.
logical.
Yeah. So if the light wouldn't change, y'all wouldn't even know I exist because I'd still been on Rikers Island.
Right,
you know,
right.
because I would have got a lot of time for that.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
But how many of us are going through that right now?
Daily.
How many of us, and man, you've talked about this before, how many of us have had their brothers killed on a sidewalk and they have to walk past that sidewalk
Every day. or
every
all
day
the
to go to
time,
school?
or- You don't
And they're being
forget
told,
those.
but you better go to school, boy.
Yeah.
But mama,
Yeah.
nah, you better go to
Or
school.
the
Wow.
teachers or the principals, when you get to school, don't understand.
Yeah, they
that.
don't
Community.
understand.
We talked about it before, but one of my good friends, like my little brother, is Adrian Peterson. And when he got in trouble for whooping his son a few years back because he had put marks on him, AD going through counseling and training, he learned that was a behavior that, we all 5, 6, 7 generations back. Is grandma go get a switch off the tree. And if it ain't big enough, I'm gonna make you go get another one. And we all learn that, and that's the methodology that he learned. That's the tactics that he learned.
Right.
And then he figured out through training and through rehabilitation and through anger management courses that it ain't right. Even though my grandpa whooped my daddy whooped me, it's not right
Nah.
for us to do that. There's different ways to discipline our kids that beat them to death.
Ooh, oh man.
Man, I had a
Go
cousin
ahead,
that used to
talk
get
about-
whooped with a water hose.
So how do, this is my question to you, sir.
Man.
How do we change the slave mentality and change people's mindset on that old shit that we was taught is not the right way, and that now that we're educated and we're more woke and aware,
Still therapy, right?
Yeah.
how do we change
And
that
on
mindset?
a
Red,
deeper level, to add
how-
your
you know,
question, Ray, because
it's
I got
a-
for all
it's
4
a
of y'all, I
therapy.
want y'all to answer a couple different parts of it. Is how do we get kids to not look at gold and cars and reality TV? How can we get them to look at stuff of substance? Because our community, these companies and corporations don't even try to cater to any other ethnicity. They trying to get little black boys and little black girls to come buy their Gucci and their
Because
Louis
it
and all that
started a long
junk.
time
And,
ago, Rick.
and on the second part of that question
They
is,
did us
I
like
want y'all
that.
to answer, what are we going to do to get people to vote? We got to get rid of Trump. Time is running out. We can't wait till the last second. What are we going to do?
Lord have mercy.
Well, to tackle that first one, I think as parents, we're going to have to start taking some ownership of it. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he was saying that, man, all my son want to do is sit in the house and play PlayStation. And I was like, yeah, all my son want to do is sit in the house and play PlayStation too. Yeah. But one thing that we didn't ever talk about is that we're the ones that bought those PlayStations.
Hello.
So we're setting these things up.
Yeah.
So we as parents, we can't glorify something and tell our children not to glorify that. We can't sit in front of a TV and say that my hero is Michael Jordan, but I want your hero to be a doctor.
So where it started?
So it's starting at home.
Okay.
Go back to what you said.
Okay.
So follow. So what I'm about to do, follow me. Allie, what you gonna do?
He grabbed
He said alley.
Okay, so here we go again. It started at home, and so now it's y'all finna make me go there because see my mind is going.
If you don't go there, I'm gonna be mad at you.
Season 2. Man.
Okay,
go.
Two.
I'm gonna be mad at you if you don't go there.
So it's just like this, man. It's just like food choices and what we give our kids, right?
Yeah.
Nobody told you to pull into McDonald's. Nobody told you to pull in fast food, right? You do it on your own. You control everything. You control your home. When people leave their home, you have no more control. But when you're at home, you got all the control. So you got to understand this. You got to have times, spaces, and matter. You got to teach your kid that. Son, I don't mind you playing PlayStation, but let's read this book for an hour. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's read this. Let's do your chores.
Yeah.
Okay? And in them books reading, it need to be talking about money. How to do it. You need to be talking about relationships.
Yes.
How to do it. You need to be teaching them about other blacks that started from nothing, from the mud and came out and have accomplished a lot of things in life. See, I teach my son all of them, Garvey and all of them, and I'll ask him what Garvey come from. He gonna tell you. So the whole thing about it start at home.
But let me ask you this.
How old is your son, B-Mac?
He 10 now.
Yeah, G.
Okay,
You know what I mean? The wife had him praying since he was 3. He can say the Lord's Prayer. And you know what was
you got that foundation.
Yeah, you know what was crazy? So I coached a little league football team for a year, right? And I told my son, I said, son, say the Lord's Prayer. I ain't talking about nobody, parents, man, no. He was the only one saying it. That hurt me. That hurt me to the core.
What we teaching at home?
But
Nothing.
But that's
We
the
had
thing,
to know
though.
that.
We had to know it, bro.
But say, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. Go ahead, man.
But to add to what you're saying is that what you're teaching your children, you had to first go out and want to learn that.
Right.
So if we're
Man, you don't have no option. Like, man, let me tell you
ready to
some
eat,
shit.
man. You gotta let
I ain't ready to eat. I like my eaters. But we ain't had no option, and that's what I'm trying to get our parents and our adults to do. Man, get in this new wave of thinking this real shit.
Yeah, man.
Because what we was taught, we ain't had no choice to think that goddamn way.
That's what it was.
You wear suits to church every Sunday. This is what you do.
That's right.
We got to teach our kids different. They don't get that option. Is what I'm saying, man. This is real right here. This is really what God is really telling our people, our free people, our kings and our queens, our prince and our princesses.
Right.
This is what y'all need to know about your history. This is who you are. This is where we come from.
Right.
You ain't got no other way to think. And other shit is slave.
And it is. And that's all it is, right?
But check this out.
But to get on all 4 of y'all, I'm not talking about a direct.
We free, baby. Locker room.
A direct link. Y'all family's gonna be okay. Y'all's kids gonna be all right. But all of you have different platforms.
Right.
You're a story writer. You're a doctor. You train people. You train people. You guys are in education. You guys reach a lot of different people. And this isn't we can't just teach our families and we can't just tell our kids.
Right.
We have to figure out a way to get the message across nationwide to all of the communities. The south side of Chicago, the east side of Austin. So wherever it may be, we have to figure out a way to get the word out there.
Tell me this, Rick. I put a post out tomorrow on Facebook and say, if your kids don't know the Lord's Prayer, will you bring them to my house? Or we can meet at a center and let's teach them the Lord's Prayer.
And you'll get 3
But
responses.
but the thing about it is this. But the thing about it is
Miss
this.
Henderson, she cry. I love you.
Do you want to bring them, or are you gonna feel embarrassed?
That's what, go back to the parents.
See,
But
it started home,
the
man.
thing is, hey, like you said, it takes 21 days to make or break a habit, make or change a habit.
True.
Guess what? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And so we have to be clever
That's a
enough.
lie,
we
bruh.
have to play chess while they're playing checkers.
Right.
That's why I asked you for this question, because I'm challenging the 4 of you to figure out a way to get that message to kids. To look at a little CNN or MSNBC, learn about finances, learn how to balance a checkbook in middle school. Do all the things where our other counterparts are learning are doing. Because we got to have these things as
But
a
we got to
community.
be consistent with the message, and we got to
Absolutely.
stay on top of it, because we can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm at my daddy's house, and he's seeing commercials about the chicken sandwich. Now he want a chicken sandwich. He's 77 years old, bro. So all that BS they was teaching us, man, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Man, we
But
can
no,
play
but
with
Ray,
the,
but that's
bro.
not
We
what
can
I'm saying.
manipulate the
That's
mind.
not- that's-
We can do whatever we want to do with that powerful brain in your head until God take your spirit and your soul away.
but you always
Man, your
change.
mind can do a whole lot of things, bro. I done deal with people.
That's not the focus. The old dog new tricks.
No, but I'm
The
saying
focus
any
is,
mind can be
how are
changed
gonna
if
get-
we are
how-
consistent
how
with
you
the
gonna get
message.
kids at LBJ to not watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and to learn something, read a book, go help somebody in the community, go to prayer
The
meeting, go help
message
your
ain't
grandma that's sick.
consistent, Red, because if they at school with me hearing the positive talk,
And then they 8
going
hours at home with the-
and mama out there taking more Instagram pictures showing her butt than her daughter.
That's the question, Ray. We are giving up.
Consistency across the board, preaching the same message is mandatory.
Yes.
You understand? We gotta quit talking about the BS, and that's why we want these images of what this woman is portraying and writing about.
Y'all that question.
That's-
All
you get me
address it in
passionate
different
about that.
areas in
Yeah.
different ways, and the message will be successful, and it will get delivered if the 4 of you keep doing just what you just said.
The
Ray.
5 of us, bro, and that's why we linking everybody up across the world. And that's what you making us, bro, because it's some things we doing in Chicago coming up in the summer, bro. So we love what we do. This is our passion. We being obedient.
Yes.
Even when we don't see what God is asking us to do, we just gonna follow you, God.
Yeah.
Because me and Mac prayed on this, and Mac opened the door for this. I told him what we wanted to do, bruh. So I know what the vision and the work, the believing. Don't just believe. You got to work too, man. You understand?
Yeah.
But what we trying to do,
Yeah.
bruh, back to what you saying,
Right.
a unified message, man.
Yes.
If we can preach a unified message, man, we stop watching Love and Hip Hop, she gonna have to change the image of the women she put on TV, bruh.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But long as mama can go home, and them boys that love the titty boppers and all that, love the conversation, they gonna keep portraying that, bruh.
Yeah.
And I think we also need to stay in our lanes,
Ooh.
our prospective lanes. My thing is not to
I got worldwide.
because we got Bobby that's doing this, and he's on the fitness thing, and he know that to talk about the slave thing, like he's not teaching the people that come in there to eat slave food.
No.
Because that's that old way, and we were just eating what was left. So we don't even have to eat that.
We don't no more.
We don't have to eat that no more. But yet we're choosing to do these things.
Yeah.
Now,
We kill ourselves.
Right. You're working with the youth. I don't desire to work with the youth on that level, because my thing is you working with the youth while they're with you. I need to work with the parents. So when they go home, they're not just teaching them the
Teamwork
same
make
thing.
the dream work.
Because
Roles, man.
because
Man,
what
get in your
happens
position.
yeah.
Man.
Because what happens is
Taking
you can teach them
accountability.
all kind of things. You can teach them how to be great
Yeah.
for that 2 hours, 3 hours that you got them.
When they
Right.
But when they get home and the parents hadn't
Wow.
developed that mindset on we're going to be great, all of it is gone. Because whether we like this or not, no matter how powerful you think you are, you're not as powerful. Even as a deadbeat parent, the child still looks up to that deadbeat parent more than they look up to you.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Because
man.
we still want love from that first
man,
parent.
Say that
First
again,
parent,
man,
yeah.
because that's gonna bounce over people's heads.
It
Say that
already
again.
did.
Look how you look.
A deadbeat parent has more influence on you than the 2 hours that you have, because they still trying to get that. I still want that love,
Yeah.
so I'm going to do things
It's the
for that
area.
love.
Yes.
Now, if you tell me that I can't go see Ray, okay, I can't go see Ray.
Yeah.
If you're gonna love me,
Wow.
Now I know that Ray is doing something that will make me better in the long run. But if my parents are going to love me more, if I don't go
That's
see
really
Ray,
where I want the source of love to come from.
And the whole,
yeah, that's where it's supposed to come from.
Right.
And what this I used to hit parents right in the heart with this one. I say when you don't discipline your child, you hate them. I don't hate him.
You got to break that down now.
What you mean? I hate him. You didn't do nothing wrong. You didn't discipline him at a wrong point of time in his life. You just letting him go.
Just letting him go.
You hate him. What? No, I love him. No, you hate him because you're allowing him to do what he want to do. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, what did Grandma say? Boy, who raised you? Boy, I'll tell you, Sally over there raising the boys over there. She ain't. It goes back to the parent. It always do. I don't care if you out here in this world, it's going to go back to the home.
Yep.
It always go back to the home. Yep. If you do great, home gets it. You do bad, home gets it. And people got to realize this is, I like social media. I'm always going to call it the tree of good and evil. That's just how I look at it. Yeah, that's me. I look at it like that. And the reason why I look at it like that because you get good out of it, you get bad out of it.
Yeah.
And God don't like you. He told him, he said, you can eat on any tree but this one. And this the one we go to.
And we're like, say Ray, let's go eat this tree, man.
So understand what's going on here. I saw on there, it was a woman, the baby was like 8 months, and she was throwing cards out there, and the baby was saying the names at 8 months, already saying it. Mm-hmm. And then I love it when I see a 14-year-old boy already went to college, graduated. Mine is sharper than Einstein. So what do you think they was taught? Why is it just that 1%?
Yeah.
Wow. We don't understand the food that we give our kids chemically messes up the kid body. When you over sugar, over salt, over fast food, how that kid gonna think clearly when he cluttered his whole body with all the bad foods? Why? Because you ate them.
Yeah.
Passion up here, yeah.
You ate them, and so now you gonna give it to him and talk about why you fat. Man, get your
Why you look 33?
Why you
look 12?
Because the hormones that they put into the chickens go into you.
How you like the locker room? We don't let too much.
I know.
You alright in this position, baby?
We up here cussing.
yeah, man.
I don't know if she.
I'm good.
Cussing.
Now tell the world. Now tell the world. How did you feel when you walked into the locker room? You were shocked.
I was shocked because I seen videos of myself playing and I seen my bio running at the bottom of the ticker and I'm like, oh.
The boy's on that level.
I said, okay.
Marty Mack is on that level.
I was like, I see
his name is worldwide for a reason. And look, and I want to explain this to you because we're going to close out the show and you're going to see more. This is family.
I got to tell them about this play too.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. But listen, these Mac Facts shirts that's coming, man, we need y'all to jump on these Mac Facts shirts because part of those proceeds will be going to these summer program enrichment programs where we're training and teaching these kids in this tech field that my man Victor Reed and I got a cold heavy hitter. I'm gonna bring him on the show. Is getting these kids involved in. So these Mac Facts shirts that we're about to drop, I need y'all to jump on them, man. But I need y'all listening to these Mac Facts because they'll change your life, man. This is a big homie, a big brother that, man, he played an important role in my life, and I love him dearly, man. He done held me down, man. We don't see eye to eye because he red and I'm blue, but we ain't tripping. You understand? But let's get into this, baby. We argue and we fight all the time. You just in the middle of it, baby. Let's talk about this play right here, real quick. That you doing, baby? Let's go.
Sole Purpose is one of the plays that I co-wrote.
Say that again.
Sole Purpose.
Show that shirt. Can they see?
Every soul has a purpose. Can y'all see the shirt? Okay, Sole Purpose. It was a script that I was brought on to co-write with Sharicia Curtis. She created the narrative for the play, and I came on and wrote it with her. Awesome. It travels as well, and it will be in Houston on May 1st and 2nd. Awesome. So watch night this weekend for the Oklahoma area, and Sole Purpose in Houston, Texas, 1st and 2nd. I'll be putting more information out. You can buy tickets already. I know a lot of you travel to Houston for concerts and, you know,
Good time
and
all that.
just to go to the clubs
Boom.
and hotels.
You gonna make me mad right there. You gonna make that's a
So
whole
we
nother
would love
topic.
your support
Yeah, hold
to come
on.
to Houston
Huh?
to
Can
see
we
the Soul
talk about
Purpose
that
play.
real quick?
So
Man,
funny.
but not
No,
only that.
how can we get them shows in Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
We are major. Do you understand? It is a black community in Central Texas. Man, quit going to Houston and Dallas, man. Spend dollars with these people that are bringing these important people to the city in powerful shows, man.
For real.
Quit playing that role.
Yeah.
And South by Southwest is here. We do it every year. Come on, black community.
And-
we shouldn't have to go.
Let's be
No
real.
limit, no limit reunion
Let's
concert
be
got
real.
canceled
Let's
because
be
they weren't
real.
enough
Let's be
tickets.
real.
That's crazy.
But you know what I want to
Y'all got bread,
before
bro.
we leave all of this, man.
Y'all
I want to
tricking
give
out here, I know that.
a big shout out to Kevin Stewart for the job that he does on these screens, all this stuff going across.
Who is Kevin Stewart? Mr. Do Right.
Mr. Do Right.
You can't do no wrong.
But
It's nice in here, guys.
yeah, but the thing about it is,
Y'all heard him say that. Bobby Mack didn't
when you
say that.
TK, what
They
I want you
co-signed
to when you get that information, please send it to us and we can throw it across the screen when
where
you're
can
not
they-
here.
where can they find
When the
it,
dates are starting to come, we can throw it across here so the people could, be like, okay, oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
she
refresh.
said that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
What we really would like.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
Look at that, he want to buy
My
tickets.
daughters in Oklahoma City and in Houston.
Where can they
Okay,
find you
cool.
right now, baby?
Right now, you can find me on the only social media I'm on is Facebook under TaMyra T.K. Henderson, TaMyra T.K. Henderson. I am there. Send me a friend request. Love to speak with you about anything you have going on. Just say hi, or
And the locker room. Now this is her platform as well. So if you have any questions for her, you can reach out here. We'll direct them directly to her.
I'm in. Yes.
Hey, so let's get into it, Heath Muhammad. How you gonna close out this show?
Man, let's be.
But I'm gonna take it back. You know you gotta ask that question. But let's talk about you do what you do.
Man, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to own your emotions. Stop. We can't just have one emotion. We can't just have anger. Anger is a secondary emotion, meaning there was something else that led up to that anger. Either it's embarrassment, grief, or you just don't know how to deal with certain things. But anger can't be your only emotion as a man. A hammer can't be your only tool in your toolbox because everything becomes a nail at that point.
Wow.
So we have to do better with that. It's okay.
Throw it, make him go back, B-Man. I love
Wait,
it.
hold on. You ready?
Love y'all, yes.
You ready? You gonna miss the alley. You gonna miss the alley.
He ain't gonna miss it, but repeat that.
I want you to repeat that one.
Yeah, well, we catch that off the back. Read.
Yeah, if there's only a hammer in your toolbox, everything becomes a nail. Meaning that you try to figure out everything through anger, and that's not the best way to do things. Like we have to allow our people to be vulnerable. We have to allow our children to have a safe place to cry. We can't just tell our children to go to their room when they cry, because that's what it teaches them, is that I'm supposed to grieve alone.
Man.
That's what that teaches. When a coworker is going through something, we tell everybody back up, give them some time. That's not the proper way to do this, man. Because it's just teaching me that I need to grieve alone. I need to isolate. I don't need to ask people to help me in these times. So we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We have to allow our boys to be vulnerable. We have to teach our people how to lose. Again, we are always taught how to win, but we're never really taught how to lose. And we're also never taught the grind that comes when we eventually win. I was telling B. Matt that Usain Bolt only spent less than 2 minutes on the Olympic track. Less than 2 minutes.
They don't understand that. You're trying.
Less than 2 minutes on the Olympic track. But what did it take for him to just get to that Olympic track just for 2 minutes?
Years.
Wow.
But we don't think about that.
We do.
The sports people think about it. Y'all know the grind. But the people that's looking at the TV, we ain't thinking about
They
that.
see the glory but don't know the story.
Yeah.
That's why you are here to tell the story. You
Yeah,
understand?
and you write it, and other people they live through you. That's what all this is. See, you'll never die as long as you write.
Legacy.
Hey, man. My man, no. I love when you say something. Ooh, she say, ooh. That's worldwide, big man. baby.
Yeah.
But look, you saying some real stuff. Tell the people where they can find you again. You a regular on here. She traveling. We're gonna get her again, but you a regular on this with this knowledge. Where can we find you, sir?
I'm at hmcounselor.com. hmcounselor.com. You can holler at me. I take insurance if you need a therapy session or 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Come holler at me. And I keep it. It's real. I mean, I'm not dressed up in a suit. I don't have a pipe. I mean, we just sitting down just rapping, and I'm just throwing little things so you can look at stuff from a different perspective. Not trying to challenge anything. Just let's talk about it. It can be that easy, man.
That's healing.
You know, we can all heal
Yes.
if we want to take that step.
Yeah.
No, those first couple of weeks when you're starting to get in that healing process, it's hurtful.
That habit.
It hurts
change.
because now you're thinking, damn, where did I learn this?
Yeah.
And then we're starting to look at our parents a little different, which you should not,
Right.
because they were just teaching you stuff that they were taught. But we start to realize that, damn, the things that my mother and my father taught me are inconsistent right now.
Yeah.
Just like with the food.
I mean, you gotta understand something, man. Life without change is death.
And we're slowly killing ourselves because we refuse to change.
Yeah, so
exactly.
you know, I want everybody to just close their eyes and say, this show is to give you knowledge that you ain't gonna learn in college. That's what it's about. That's all it is. You're not gonna go to college, Red.
Red, I can't wait to get you down here and get you in his presence, dog, because we're going to have a field day.
If I got more than one more weekend of this weather, I'll be down
Be
there.
down here. It's snowing in Pflugerville right now. Yeah, it's snowing right now.
Hey,
Oh, it's snowing down here.
It's snowing right now.
Man, it's like, bro. Hey, let me tell you this.
I need to get back to camp.
Hey, let me tell you this, man. I love what God is doing, man, in our lives, man. And I want everybody to see this because I take them Kobe Bryant days personal, bro. Like, when y'all tell my story, man, tell them that I love God, I love Jesus Christ, I love my family and my friends, and I love what God is doing in our life, man. And I'm thankful for all of y'all. I'm thankful for the support. But before we get out of here, Bobby Mack, hit him with that question.
Before you, I just got one question for you, baby girl. Before you leave this earth, how do you want people to view you?
I had that same question. You ain't getting nothing.
Basically,
Nah.
I want to be viewed as someone who was obedient as well as an encourager. I'm an encourager. My gift is encouragement, and movies and plays it's a platform that I've been given to exercise the gift.
Awesome.
And so
Awesome, baby girl.
I want to tell you this while you're here. I don't want to go back on Facebook and tell you this, but the fact that you moved out on faith without knowing what was going to be next is powerful as hell.
Yes, baby
That's
girl.
the part.
Because
too.
powerful
I can't
as
wait to
hell.
tell that
Because
story.
you know what faith stands for. Not the sentence. What it really stands for. Forwarding all issues to heaven.
She did it again, Bobby. She did it again.
I get a whole bunch of Mac facts. I'm like, wow.
Give me some water.
I'm gonna write that
What she say?
on my bathroom mirror.
You know what I mean, though?
Hey.
Right?
Season 2 of the locker room, we cooking, man. Red all the way, boy.
Look,
Hey, look,
Legacy, man. Legacy.
we get to talk about signing day, so hopefully I can have some of my G's that signed and all that come through. But real talk replace all that too, man. I love y'all. Heath Muhammad, TaMyra, like I called it in high school, TaMyra Henderson. In the building, boy. We love y'all. Y'all gonna see the
LBJ.
result of stepping out on faith, man. All my dudes at LBJ and my women understand diamonds came out of that.
Man.
Come on.
They don't like to talk about that, but that building put a lot of diamonds out here in the world.
Me and
it
Jamone
just
talked about
wasn't
that.
sports.
Yeah.
We had diamonds everywhere.
Yes.
We love y'all, Austin, Texas. We love the world. Locker room next week. Same time, same bad channel, baby. Peace. I love you, Red. Be warm.
Be warm,
Red,
Red.
take care of yourself, brother.
Bye, Red.
Boy.